What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Nom Syndicate podcast. You're sitting here with Frank and Quincy.
Yep.
And it's been a little while. It's been about a month. It's been a number of weeks. We've been gone. Been gone for a while. A lot has happened since it's kind of fitting. We did a whole catching up with the homies episode, going over what was about to come, and then it came. Yeah. So I'm a dad now. It's weird. I was not, and now I am. It's very, very weird. It really did. It happened. And then there was no time. Then it's just gone.
Yeah, all gone.
All the time. Here's the thing.
You had your little break, kind of.
You know how, you can't explain it to your past self. Even if I were to go back in time and tell myself this, or even if you're to tell it to somebody that isn't dealing with it, you just be like, you have way more time than you think you do.
Yeah.
Way more. Just so much more.
And then something like that coming, that's when you find out.
You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You thought you were busy.
Yeah, you're not. you have so much opportunities. So and also you have no idea how little sleep you need to operate. It's very little.
Yeah, need a lot of that. You need a lot to operate, but you don't need that much.
Yeah, you can. Your body surprisingly can,
function off just a power nap.
Yeah, but we're not saying it functions well.
No,
not at all.
No.
It works.
For it to function well, you have to be in that state for a while.
Yeah, you got to be sleeping.
Newly functioning in that state, it ain't happening.
Right.
Most proper.
But everybody's happy, healthy, and well, and everything's good. So that on that front, it's good. But it's a lot. You get a lot of advice, a lot of unsolicited advice when you're about to be a parent. So I got a lot of information. A lot of it, some of it is useful. Some of it's just some of it you just can't prepare for it until you deal with it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny though, because 2 days in, your first one was a while ago.
Yeah.
So but the first one I'm imagining is I wonder if it's a universal, 2 days into it, you're like, I think we fucked up. When he so we had a little boy, and when he was first born, you're just overcome with all the emotions and everything. It's great. 2 days of sleep deprivation and not knowing what's going on. You're like, oh God, what have we done?
Yeah.
But then by day 3, you're like, I get it. Yeah, it's weird.
You get used to it real fast. The sucky part is, I feel like the whole sitting in the hospital with the baby thing sucks, because they don't let you. It's after all that, especially the mom.
Oh,
they
break.
They do not let you rest.
Nah.
It's they'll tell you, go on, let mom rest, but then they come in every hour.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And checking stuff. I'm like, she just fell asleep, or the baby just fell asleep.
She's been up for 48 hours and then just delivered a baby, and she needs the rest, but you guys just nah. They just keep coming in. But
we just come in to check on the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, let us sleep. The baby fine.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
We're trying to pass out.
Yeah, my baby just was struggling trying to get out of me. It's tired.
It's time to sleep. But yeah, it was a great experience overall. Everything went the best that it could.
Yeah.
But yeah, wild.
Did that? We out of code. We ain't out of it, but we out of regulation stuff. How was that there?
So in the surgical room, the delivery room situation, you really could only have one guest. You could have 2, but the father counts as one of the guests.
Yeah.
So we could have 1 guest. And then when we got into the actual the room where we were just going to be at, they were just lifting. We were in there on a Wednesday.
Yeah. And
we got out on a Friday, but that coming Monday they were lifting all restrictions.
Okay.
So they were kind of lax on it because they knew it was coming.
So people could visit. But it was a thing where y'all was like, let's just chill, make it so that
kind of
we ain't gonna tell everybody.
We didn't have a whole lot of people come through, just because you're already not sleeping. So in the middle of the day, you're trying to get as much sleep as you can.
Y'all lucked out with that kind of. Y'all lucked out with that, because during ours it was dang, in the room while my woman was having the baby, it was
everybody in there,
people in there, all the women. Whatever women wanted to be up in there that she didn't mind. It was all up in there, and me. You know what I'm saying? It's like who else wanna see this come out of here?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. And then after it was like, every day it was like a gang of my family coming. At least her family was a lot too, but I got a big family, so everybody was coming with they husband or wife or whatever. Everybody was coming, the kids, everybody.
Yeah.
Eating our snacks.
I tell you, man, it on paper it seems like it's kind of like when you make plans when you're all rested, and then when you're tired, you're like, man, I wish I didn't make those plans. It's like it on paper it seems a lot less hectic.
Yeah.
But when you're like, oh, baby sleep like 20 hours a day, that can't be that bad. And then you realize that the 4 hours that they're awake is like spread out like all over the place. So there's like really no like dedicated situation.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, we were both like kind of committed to his schedule, but I had to go back to work.
Yeah.
So if you guys hear this loud noise, it's because we are in the new studio because of said newborn, we have moved the podcast studio temporarily to the coffee roastery. And apparently today they have decided at this very moment when Quincy and I's schedules line up, that is the perfect time to do all the lawn work around the building. And they're
soon
like,
y'all gonna be hearing trains. That ain't came yet, but it might pop up.
So if you're hearing different sounds than what normally happens in the studio, don't be alarmed.
Just go with it. Act like you're here with us.
Yeah, we have some trains. There's train tracks right next to this building. We obviously have this guy.
You hear a train. I'm surprised we don't hear trains by your house.
Yeah, luckily we have very good equipment, so we can minimize the amount of noise. But the guy currently doing laps around the building, right next to the building on his Skag mower, is quite hard to drown out. But
and you might hear a lot of knocking. I've been banging this. I've been hitting this thing. We accidentally switched mics.
Yeah.
So
Quincy's depth perception on this is
long, and I can't just talk around this thing like I used to.
It is how it goes. This is a new day. We're back. Yeah. We're maybe slightly rusty. Sleep deprived. Right. Man, here's
definitely sleep deprived.
Oh yeah, dude, a lot, really bad. Like it's been interesting because I keep making the same joke, and people that have talked to me have probably heard me say it a bunch of times, but I'm just basically like, there's a reason they make them like cute and young, because they're like, they're clearly using sleep deprivation tactics, which is like a main form of torture.
Yeah, man.
And like, that's why they're cute, because they're young enough that they can't be tried for war crimes.
Yeah.
Because they're clearly breaking the Geneva Convention. Man. It is not a good sitch.
Children are mean.
But they're cute.
Yeah. They're
He's
beautiful.
Precious, man.
Yeah.
He's
we seen him in the coffee shop.
Yeah, he is quite precious, and I'm very partial to him. And he's made me an emotional mess, which is great. Anybody that knows me well enough, like I'm very much logic oriented, and lately, just very emotional.
Yeah. Kids make you forget about logic, man.
They do.
Like they anything that can go wrong will go wrong in your brain with a child.
Yeah, I just get sad about
anything
stuff.
Can happen. It could be happy, sad. In your brain, anything can happen. It's just like, that makes no sense.
I have legit cried more in like the last month than I probably have in my entire life. And I'm like, why is this happening? I was like, is this how normal people feel all the time? And Lauren's like, kinda. And I'm like, make it stop.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm over it. Let's quit. This is not okay. But no, it's great. He's doing really well. I mean, he's basically by the book, so he's doing fantastic. But whew,
little cutie.
My diet's wrecked.
Yeah.
Like I was
hear my stomach, girl. Good thing the mic ain't picking up my stomach.
Oh yeah, Quincy ate cereal again. We know Quincy's battle with the lactose.
Yeah. Can't help it though.
He's losing all the time. Yeah. But oh yeah, man. So this dude, like, since my schedule's crazy, what I've found out is that like I don't cook at all. Like for like the first month that he's been around, I haven't cooked like anything. Like I just now, like a few days ago, just started cooking again. Like we were like junk food was serious. Like we would just have, because you're sleep deprived, man. You're not sleeping. So like the only thing you're doing for sanity is like snacking and eating all these different things like here and there. So it's like that dad bod's real sitch, man. I almost wonder if it's like designed that way so you just get slightly squishier so it's comfortable when you hold them.
I would assume that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I'm leaning into that.
It makes you built for comfort.
It has nothing for self-control. I'm that's not at all it. It's definitely not my fault.
Yeah, man.
But
never our fault.
Oh, my exercise program wrecked. Like I was like routinely running before it happened, and then like after that,
you called me a couple of your walks and everything.
Yeah.
Or right after a couple walks or jogs.
Yeah. When I was on my cool downs, I give you a ring. But now, like, there's not that. We take him on walks now, though. We get him in like the stroller and stuff. But it's not the same as running. But
what's funny is he don't care. That's the funny thing.
Oh, he loves it.
Care. He don't care. He don't know. You can be walking around inside. He don't know yet.
Oh yeah, but he knows the difference between you're walking and if you're trying to fake it and you're sitting down. Oh, he'll get pissed. Instantly, he's like, "What is this shit?
Yeah,
get up and walk around."
That's that trick. Boy. You be trying to rock your kid, like you walking and trying to bounce him, but then you try to keep that same bounce while you're sitting.
Oh, he knows.
They're like, what?
Like, what is this bullshit? Yeah,
this is fake. You pony.
Yeah, this is so not right. Yeah, he can tell real quick, man. He's crazy. He's so he's just over a month old, and like already he's like eating a lot more, and dude, it's crazy. He's just constantly moving. You've done this a lot of times.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot that's happening.
But you kind of were smart though, because you waited long enough from the first one. Then now you got kind of like built-in babysitting situations.
Yeah, man. Yeah, with everything. Well, my first one was an accident. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
a beautiful accident.
Yeah.
But she knows.
She's fantastic.
She knows the story, girl.
Yeah.
We about the same age, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She understands. Yeah, I had my first one super early. So, I mean, I was still in high school. So
right. That's a whole different stitch, man.
Yeah, so it's like my planned one wasn't until my second one,
Yeah.
So it was a whole different situation, in which that was a big thing too, because it's like now I'm like I can't just enjoy high school like regular kids.
No.
Which some kids do anyway. Some people just be like, yeah, I got this kid, but I'm still a kid, so let me do whatever I want to do.
Right.
Still.
My parents are gonna raise this child.
I didn't do that. So it's like as soon as I found out I was having a kid, it was like I had a job. I was a janitor while I was in high school. Like who does that?
Somebody's got to make it happen.
Yeah, it's like I would leave school and go be a janitor, take the bus, go be a janitor somewhere, and then you know what I mean. So
yeah, man, you do what you had to do.
But yeah, it helped me. Which me and her got an amazing relationship because. And then, like I said, she half my age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll be telling people like we grew up. Like I raised her, she's my oldest daughter. We're real close, but it's like we have a better friend relationship too that I wouldn't have with my youngest ones,
right?
Just because how I raised her and how like I said,
no, that makes sense.
It's like I was a kid and she was a kid, so you know what I mean. It's a different thing, but built-in babysitter. You're right. That's who watching my kids right now is her. Why mama at work? So
that's nice.
It's a good thing, but then we got all the way up to almost an adult to a baby, which she's about to turn 2 in June. I think she turns 2 in June, and boy, that girl just learning to jump. It's like that fresh. We took a video of her jumping. If she get both feet off the ground, it looks damaging. She coming down on ankles. Ankles is twisting. She a little chunky.
My dude's just barely keeping his neck together, man. He's not even close to jumping. We're not even to the mobile stage yet. He's able to keep it steady for a while now, but he's still just kind of like.
What's funny is you ain't got the experience like y'all got excited when he started smiling on his own, like knowing like, oh, I'm happy with looking at this person. Like wait until they roll over. It's like you celebrate the most minute things when you got a kid, and I love it. I still do it. That don't get old no matter how many kids you have. It's like once he do that first roll over, you go be like, God, babe.
Look at what he did.
You're gonna be like rolling him back over just so he can roll over again.
Oh yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm pumped.
Man,
we waited to have kids like pretty. I mean, like. I keep joking that I'm like, oh, Lauren, you're going to have to wheel me into his graduation.
Yeah.
I'll be old as shit. I'm like, oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, I think it was just like kind of the right time. Like everything was kind of like it would have been way more hectic had we done it earlier. Mm-hmm. We had too many other things going on. But, maybe
y'all got a lot of things going on now, but y'all are settled in the things y'all got.
And it might have been just been fine, but I don't know. Look, it's hard to find out any of that stuff until you actually do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it's different now. I got a lot of stuff going on. And so I don't have a lot of free time, which is why we had to take a month, basically a sabbatical, because I have no time.
A good run though, right there.
Oh yeah, man, and it's still going to be a good run.
Yeah.
The only thing that actually slowed it down, so like, the only thing that makes us miss episodes is a child has to be born.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And that has to. Besides, I mean, we're self-employed, so it's not like we get maternity leave or like anything like that. Like we do, but it's not what most people get. Like we don't get paid if I'm not at work. Yeah. So like Lauren, like my wife, is going to take, like, we're trying to work out like to where she's gone for at least 8 weeks, and it'll be different going forward. But I took 2.
Yeah.
I was right back at it. Like, had to get back at it because, not only do we have to worry about money, but like we have employees and stuff that we want to make sure that they're taken care of and stuff like that. So that there's added pressures that most people don't have. Like, it's different than when you can just like file for, like some companies will just have that like built in, and that's really nice and really awesome. I was really excited when they were proposing that Build Back Better program, and they were like talking about like maternity leave and stuff. Like taxes were they're gonna use like systems to help small businesses kind of do that stuff. And then like they started out with like, okay, let's do like this many months, and then they're like, okay, it's too much. Let's cut down to a few more months or a few less months. And then it's like, okay, what about like 4 weeks? And then all of a sudden they're like, just get rid of it.
You know what? Never mind.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Never mind. People ain't having kids no more.
They're like, to hell with that. But then like, I'm sure if you're a senator or whatever, I'm sure you get like a ridiculous amount of maternity leave if you leave or something. I'm sure there's. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. If I am, somebody please write in and tell me that I'm wrong. That'd be great. But I'm guessing that that's not the case based on their, awesome healthcare packages and all sorts of other things that most people don't have.
No, they probably get all kind of time off.
Oh, I bet they do. It's ridiculous. But yeah, we've got to just make it work because, I mean, you just got to figure it out. And, it's expensive having a kid. Stuff's nuts. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, diapers, milk.
I'm thinking of just the hospital bill.
Oh,
I still ain't got it yet.
I think like the base amount for a hospital bill for having a baby is like $10,000.
Oh yeah, and I'm screwed because like no deductible had ever been met because he spanned 2 years. So like we had appointments up to the end of the year and then the delivery on the other end of the year. So it was like perfectly in the middle. So it was just a lot going on. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, that money is just money. I don't really care. But yeah, it's just
boy, it sucks.
It's a crazy system, right? Like,
I'm like, I gotta pay to have this kid.
Yeah, if there's anything to be said, it's there's room for improvement.
Yeah,
we could make that shit so much better.
Yeah,
we could really help things out. We could, burn it down and start over. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
it's crazy, man.
That's where I'm at on it.
I remember when I found out. I think it was with our last kid when I really noticed how much it cost because I think we had to pay for that one. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, we pay for this? I always thought this was everybody has babies like this. I thought this was a free thing. Not free, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was like it was.
Well, and it's also
you pay for everything. Like I bet if you look on your bill, that skin to skin you have to pay for that.
Probably
it don't even make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Somebody was there to watch you.
Yeah.
So
and
you're paying.
They really didn't even watch you do it.
No.
But you pay for that. That's a payment on
I'm going to be picky.
That's
I'm going to be like, I'm going to need that itemized statement. I want to see how ridiculous this looks.
It's weird. Like every single little thing in there, man. It's weird. It adds up.
I know. And it doesn't help that like there's a story being released while I'm like dealing with it, being like the state of Indiana is going after Balm or IU Health because they're reporting record profits and they're the most expensive healthcare in the country. I was like, oh, that's cool. Let's I was like, can we hurry up and do something about this? I'm about to get that bill. I'm about to send it back. Be like, fix this. This is you got whack, my order wrong.
It's whack. Having kids is a beautiful thing, but it is a bill if you ain't got it. Like even if you got the money, it's just like that's a big hole.
It is what I get it, man. And then some of me is like, they send kids home with like a lot of people, and you're just kind of like,
yeah.
You're starting to second guess some stuff every now and then. Be like, they did that? How?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Not that we're any better, but like at the same time, you got, everybody's got some friends that's got some kids, and you're just like, how?
Yeah. They let you walk out like that.
There's no test. There's no test. Yeah. They don't give a shit. You have a kid in there. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing about the whole situation is they give you this like now they give you they give you 2 pamphlets when you're in there. And the first one's like kind of like an introduction to the hospital and all the shit you can do while you're in there. That's, whatever. And then they give you a New Beginnings book, and it's like this thing. It's the only pamphlet they give you about like taking care of a kid.
Yeah.
Right? And the instructions are only for 5 fucking days.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's 5 days on there of like, okay, you should expect this many diapers up to this point. You should expect them to eat this much this day. And it's for the first 5 days. And then after that, it's like, fuck, just go ahead and give them sandwiches or something. Nobody knows. Like, because you can't expect everybody's reading baby books. Like, I'm a nerd, so I got in there. I was like reading all these books, so I know what to expect. But like, most people aren't reading those books. They're going to...
Yeah, it's off the cuff.
Yeah, we kind of did like a mix. Like, I read all the books to be nice and annoying, and then Lauren's using all of her intuition and instincts.
Yeah.
Which she's got a bunch because she's watched kids like her whole life. Yeah. So, like, she's got a lot figured out. And so between the two, we've got like a pretty good approach to how we do stuff. But like, there's some people that have no instincts or intuition, and then there's some people that have no understanding using any books or any resources. So it's like, there's no right way to do it, but there's a shitload of wrong ways to do it, apparently, is what I'm learning.
A lot of wrong ways.
Nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to get it right. You're all going to screw it up. We're all going to find that perfect way to mess up our kids.
What frustrates me, though, sometimes is like, you'll be the people that's doing good, but they'll fault you for the little things that you do that really ain't harming nothing. But they'll fault you for them little things. But the people that come in with all the mess ups, they don't say or do nothing.
Because that's the difference between positive and negative reinforcement. Yeah. They're like, what, we're going to yell at them after they're already doing everything wrong?
It's crazy because it's like, I remember a couple of times being in the hospital. This is just straight in the hospital. It's like everybody's tired. The baby sleep. I'm sleep holding the baby. The baby sleep.
Oh, you got in trouble? Yeah.
Hey, what you doing sleep with that baby? I'm like, I'm going to sleep with the baby at home. Like you gonna come to my house with like this is a common with me. Like and when it's already like, this is my 3rd kid, and by this time it's like y'all suckers, y'all don't leave me alone. I'm a pro by now. Don't you know I don't drop these things?
Well, what I've kind of learned from just not that I'm like any expert, I'm a month in, but like from what I've been reading, because I analyze data all the time. So like, when I'm looking at parenting books, I'm looking at the guidelines. So one of the things that I did when I got all these different books, I got one book that was very like, it was about raising children from like the European standard.
Yeah.
Just different. I wanted different outlooks from how people raised kids all over the world. And so like I got one that used their like national recommended standards, and it's very different than the standards that they have in the US. So like, basically, the assumption in the European standards is that, most people are like fairly educated and have good common sense, and they can make discerning decisions. In the United States, they assume we are all idiots and that we need protected.
Yeah.
So like, there's no moderation in anything. It's either like you absolutely can't do this, or that's it. There's not like use your best judgment. So I feel like in the States, when it talks about like sleeping, like if you fall asleep with a baby, it's basically written from like a liability standard. Yeah. They're like basically like, they're thinking that like, this is for the people that have no instinct and no anything. They set their baby on a dresser with no edges or anything. And then they just like, I'm going to go make a sandwich.
Yeah.
And then they act shocked when the baby rolls off the dresser and there's a huge problem. Like, so then instead of being like, you're an idiot, you need to get in trouble for that, or maybe like there's some sort of situation to mediate that, they're just like, nobody can do anything with like none of that. Like there'll never be
don't
like
set your baby on top of the fridge. We get it.
Yeah. Don't put your baby in the microwave. Yeah.
No, but don't. That's how they treat it. It's weird.
Yeah. Well,
but I mean, I get it. I get
the
what
sleeping
you're saying,
thing is that. So like, with somebody that's intelligent and they're like maybe in the center of like a large, like maybe it's a bed or whatever, and they create because they make things that could go on top of beds. Yeah. You can do something like that. You can have it to where it's like you're obviously not going to roll over on them. There's not going to be anything that's going on. Like
But then they got worries about that because they're like, then the baby might roll over too far and lay his face in the crease of this thing, and then then they talking about that. Maybe you shouldn't use this because then the baby up.
I know. I'm not saying
the baby getting the crease, now his head is still soft. Now it's gonna have an edge on it because it slid into the crease.
I mean, there's a lot of things they're trying to mitigate the amount of mistakes that people can make. Yeah. But it's like here's the big most important thing. Is most of that shit's not even in the book they give you when like the standard issue 5-day situation. Yeah. Like there's like your baby should sleep on its back and a thing, like that's about it. And that's it. Like they don't, but here's the other thing. The people that are doing this stuff aren't reading that shit at all. So it doesn't matter. Like
they ain't about to read that.
You're making all these rules for somebody that's not going to read them. And I get, but it's just kind of, it's frustrating, but it's interesting at the same time. Like how they're like, you can't, like the things in pregnancy that we were talking about last time, like all the things you can't eat and stuff. Like it's the same approach, only like now it's the baby's here. But I don't know. It's nuts. You talk to, but like it's fun when you talk to like actual parents. They're like, yeah, this is what we did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. Because it's impossible. You think it's possible for a mom who's fully like, so Lauren's fully dedicated to his schedule. She sleeps when he sleeps. She's up when he's up. And she is badass, like thoroughly badass. Like I go to work, I'm here, I'm doing stuff. Like she is badass. Like, and he like, I mean, they talk about that fourth trimester. The fourth trimester, which is like, it's still, things are still happening.
Things
so like
still going on. Things are shifting back.
Right. But she like, it's also like that baby's still massively attached and it's great. But yeah, she's badass. And like there's no way that moms are not going to fall asleep at some point holding that baby. Yeah. Like that's just, and also what the hell did we do like for all of evolution? Like there wasn't like, you didn't have cribs all the time that people put it down. That shit was on you constantly.
Yes.
So like, I don't know. Like that's sweet. Like we are not medical professionals and don't sue us for anything. But what I'm saying is it just seems impractical. Like
I've never dropped a baby, man.
Yeah. Right. I'm not telling anybody how to live their life. I'm not condoning anything. Yeah.
I've never rolled off the couch.
Right.
I've never like this. Once this is locked in, that baby's stuck.
And you don't move.
I don't move.
Yeah, you froze.
I literally, like, for real, I go to sleep with my kids. I don't move.
Dude, like, sleep is a different situation now. Because, like, okay, like, sleep's not even the accurate word to describe what happens when you have a newborn. Because, like, when you go to sleep, you get comfortable and then you go to bed. Mm-hmm. When you have a newborn, you black out in a frozen position. Yeah. And that is it.
Yeah. But then it's like, it's weird. You're blacked out, but then there's subtle movements or sounds. You're like,
yeah. You're sleeping like you're in the wild. You are on high alert.
Yeah.
Shallow sleep.
It's pretty much like you sleeping with your eyes open.
Real talk, though.
It's a weird thing, man.
During the height of the sleep deprivation, I was like, since I wasn't sleeping, I was like looking shit up on my phone and whatnot. So I was studying where the 8-hour like sleep thing came from. Mm-hmm. Did you know that shit's not even like that old? No, dude, check this out. So there's all these like sleep disorders that have been like coined over the years, and it's because people can't get their 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
That's not even really that natural. Because like we didn't invent
8 hours is a long time.
It is. And also they didn't invent that shit until the standard work week was established. So it was basically like, okay, we're going to create this weird work day for you. And now all of a sudden you need to be able to sleep this long to go to work. And I'm like, oh, interesting.
That don't make no sense.
Before that, people would sleep in like 4-hour increments, wake up, do some shit, take another 4-hour, like get another 4-hour sleep. And that was what we did. And that makes sense because your REM cycles are roughly 3 to 4 hours. Like they're based on 3 to 4 hour cycles.
That's probably why when you sleep too long, you get up feeling way more tired. Like you wake up like, what?
Yeah, you're hungover because you wrecked a bunch of your cycles. So it's just interesting because that was one thing I looked up and I was like, sons of bitches. Work week ruins another thing.
Yeah. It's all job. My job be sending out emails. And I'm like, what? Like, we got this one thing where it's like a health thing. And then I'll get an email saying like, oh, you need to take a break off or take a day off. You missed your like window to take a break off of emails, take a break off work. I'm like, I'm not allowed to take a break off work if they don't quit sending me these emails. Like they send me these emails like
you're way up in corporate, like you're just going to be able to.
Like I could just leave. I'm like, one day I'm gonna show my supervisor the email, like, hey, this is telling me I need to go. This ain't healthy for me, right?
Yeah.
Can I leave? Can I go home?
He's like, no, because I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And you're like, you son of a bitch. Yeah, man, it's weird, man. Mm-hmm. It's bizarre, but yeah, man, it's nice to be back.
Yeah,
it's nice to get back on behind the microphone.
Needed it.
I will say I haven't cooked really much of anything until the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. It's been
I've been grilling here and there. I send you little videos here.
Yeah, you did, man.
But I don't take pictures for nothing no more. I don't take good pictures.
I just haven't cooked anything, man. I've been eating trash. Mm-hmm. I've been eating like Pop-Tarts.
Now, I ain't saying I ain't been eating trash.
Well, I'm saying that's all I've been eating. This body is now currently built by Pop-Tarts and like frozen shit. Like we parked an air fryer on the counter and we're just like, Lauren, you want to make mini corn dogs? You want to like everything? Like I don't even shop on the frozen foods aisle, but like because of all this, like I was just like our freezer's loaded with like random frozen meals and like.
You know what I struggled with here recently? I got super thirsty because we couldn't drink the city water for a little bit.
Oh yeah, you were about to die, I bet.
Oh man, I was like, we bought bottled water. I hate bottled water.
Oh, that's funny.
It don't taste good to me. Like I'll drink it if like I got it, I guess. Yeah. But even if it's in the house, I'm always drinking the tap water.
Yep.
Oh, I couldn't drink the Muncie water. That's got to be an episode. But boy, I couldn't drink the damn
I don't know what happened with that.
I love it. That shit was brown as hell, and I couldn't drink it.
We didn't have any discoloration, man. We didn't see any.
Well,
you
got good water at your house. You got that dang filter, man.
Yeah, but not on the shower and everything else, man.
You ain't gonna see it. It wasn't like when I was seeing it. It wasn't. I take showers, so it wasn't that brown.
Okay,
you know what I'm
really
saying?
light.
Like coming out, you can't see it. But when we run the kids' bath water, like our water, it looked like we had like if I refill my water in an old coffee cup, like it was like yellow,
little dingy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was like, what the hell? We end up getting a message about it the day after we ended up draining our water heater because we thought there was like some sediment deposit in it or something. Like no, everybody water in Muncie was just bad. Yeah,
we got that message and Lauren was like, we're making bottles for our child. I was like, we've got massive water filtration.
I've been drinking. I was drinking water all up until my woman was like, hey, our water coming out weird. I was like, oh, let me stop drinking this water. And then I wasn't drinking it for a while after that because I was nervous. And I was like, every day I'm like, I'm so thirsty. I ended up making coffee. Oh, I was like, I gotta apologize to Frank because I've been like, we made some coffee with some water bottles, like filtered water. Oh man, it was so good. I was like, oh, I see what he means about like, city water got too much shit in it already. So the coffee can't absorb into the water like it's supposed to. So I'm like, oh, so when we're using that filter water, like, man, that coffee was so damn robust. Boy, I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's got volume to take.
He was like, Quincy, you notice a difference in the water? I said, yeah, I understand. I get it.
I love that shit, man. That's great. Hell yeah. But yeah, good thing though. Now that we're back, we should be back on a pretty regular schedule again. There's not much that gets in the way, but apparently,
having a whole child,
having a children, definitely throws a wrench into things a little bit in a good way. It's been good, man. I haven't. It's been great. It's just difficult, man. Yeah. I don't know if it's like. I think we're getting towards like we keep getting told that it's like getting closer to it just gets better. And then there's like little lapses as they grow and stuff. But he's relatively on a pretty good schedule. I mean, he sleeps at night more than he does in the day. But I think honestly, a lot of his like behaviors and like what he's at least learned from like his sleep cycles is basically because we're on such a regimented schedule. Like we're up early and we sleep early. So
he kind of getting used to it.
Oh, dude, he had no choice. Yeah, like that was just like that's all he knows. Like them lights are out at like 8:30. I'm like, we're going to bed. Yeah, and then he'll do his like long sleeps at night. So we'll get like a couple 4-hour bursts or something like that at this point. That's cool. So that's way cool. But yeah, like
man, milk really gets you drunk too. Yeah, that
Damn.
milk drunk is for real, boy. Them babies, they get that full belly. They're like,
I've been talking about. Okay, so what I've learned thus far with him, I don't know if this is the same for all kids, but this is hilarious. Like, so if he's getting tired or he's milk drunk or whatever, like when they do that like full eye roll thing into the back of their heads, like you have like a very limited window, but you can do whatever you want with them during that time. Like you can put them down, you can swaddle them, you can do anything. But if you wait until the eyes are full closed, then it's a problem. Because if you touch them, they're going to be like, oh, they're back up.
It's a risk trying to lay them down like that.
Jesus.
It's like, you got to get them that full eye roll and then lay them down because then they like, okay. All right. But once them eyes are closed,
dude, they're gone, man.
They just regular sleep.
Yeah,
and
no.
Then, any budge, they're like, what was that? Oh.
Yeah. It's
I'm back up. Because that's the thing, too. They close their eyes for like 2 minutes and get woke up. They got all their energy back.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So like when you get that eye roll, it's like, Lord, he's got the eye roll. Get the swaddle. We got to get him down.
Tighten him up good.
Yeah, just wrap him up burrito style. We'll Chipotle that little man. We're just like throw him in there and be like, all right, we're good until he explodes or something. Yeah, man, babies produce a lot of poop.
Yeah. Slimy at the beginning.
Yeah, that was gross. Yeah. Not into that. The whatever they call it. Meconium or whatever it's called. It's nasty.
It's tar.
You can't even get rid of it. Yeah, it's just sticky.
And if it gets on something, it's stained. If you have a blowout, might as well throw whatever it touched away.
Oh, I'm already on that tip, man. People are like, "Oh, do you know they make disposable onesies?" I was like, "Bro, all onesies are disposable.
Throw them joints away.
Yeah, you got enough of a mess. That shit is in the garbage instantly. I don't care what it says. It is dead to me. I'm like,
get it out of here.
That's gone.
Don't try to wash it. It ain't coming out.
I also learned that
onesie ain't got no color on it already. If it's white, some type of pale color, man, it's
gone.
Trash.
My favorite is we got one of those diaper pails, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I realized it's just a trap because it just tries to lock you into those like fancy trash bags. I was like, damn it. I'm already out. I don't have them anymore, so now I've just been taking them out.
And then
to
you
the
don't
trash.
want to. And then it's like
I gotta order it, but I'm
cool
like
at the beginning, but then you're like, oh, I gotta refill it. Ugh.
Yeah, I gotta order these now, and I'm like,
I got a trash can.
Here's the worst part about it, man. Here's literally the worst part is it would be easy. All I have to do. This is first world problems at its finest. I literally just have to get online and order it, right?
Yeah.
But every time, I'm like, I don't want to look up. I forgot what kind it is. And I just don't.
Just go to Target, go to old Target and grab you one. But that's the thing, you just don't want to. You don't want to open it up and refill it.
That's right.
Because then the whole thing is like, oh, now I gotta open it, put it in. Now I gotta tie the bottom. Hey, I hope I don't forget to tie the bottom. So
oh yes, they're just falling through. Oh my god. Well, you can buy separate ones that are just like single one-offs, and those are the cool ones. But like. Yeah, the first time I was taking that thing through and I realized it was just a feed that you had to keep tying. I was like, what is this shit?
And then it like, you can go through like, in 2 days, that whole thing can be full. So it's like you constantly having to empty it out. That's the thing.
It looks like.
Then it's like a long tube of diapers.
Yeah, it looks like an anaconda that ate nothing but baby diapers for like a long time.
The bags is like this big, like they like that round. You know what I mean?
When I first changed it, I didn't realize it did that. And it had like U'd up inside of the thing. So when I took it out, I was like walking through the house. I was like, Lauren, look at this. And it was like this huge like snake of diapers. I was like, oh my God.
Keep shoving it. You can keep some pressure on it.
Oh, I did. I put that thing in the trash and I was like, I hope it's not hot. Oh, it's getting to be summer too.
Yeah.
Trash is going to be ripe.
Yeah, it's going to be stinking, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be stinking.
I apologize in advance to all my neighbors if you listen to this.
Yeah. Collect your Walmart bags, man. Keep all your little plastic bags.
I'm trying not to do that, though. The thing that bums me out about that is like...
you ruining the environment.
Oh, well, you're just setting a time...
It don't matter when you got a baby.
You're setting a time capsule of doo-doo, man. You just perfectly encapsulate. You got to lock in the freshness.
It's like, what you going to do? You either going to stink up your outside or you going to lock that dookie in there.
I'm just going to burn them.
It's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good. That's the same as like cows farting. People don't like that.
Yeah. I'm just gonna let the baby just be outside.
Yeah, man.
Just all in the backyard all the time.
Potty train him early. Get him on that potty now. I know his neck loose, but eventually he's gonna get used to. If you hold him over there, eventually he gonna know not to poop until he gets over the toilet.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's just gonna be over there like.
Right now he's
you
doing
gonna have
the.
to hold him up. He's just gonna be.
There's this thing that babies do that's real funny. They're like, he's young enough that he doesn't have control over all of his. He has control over them, but he doesn't know how to use them all. So like he goes to take a shit and his legs just go full straight.
Yeah,
it's like just straight. Like he like tightens every muscle in his body like full, and then he's just like, and he has no idea what he's doing. He just knows he hates everything. I'm like, God, that's weird.
Some kids turn red too. They'd be like.
Yeah, babies are crazy. It's like
get to breathe. I'm like, hey, boy, you gotta you gotta breathe while you getting that out of there.
I imagine like being a baby is like
it's gonna come.
It's gonna come out your face.
You gonna get a pink sock. You keep pushing like that, boy.
I just imagine like being born is like getting thrown into a video, like one of the most complex video games ever, and nobody gave you any tutorial on how to use the controls. So it's got like 500,000 buttons, and you're like, oh shit.
Oh man, like they scratch themselves a bunch.
Yeah,
they don't notice that they're scratching themselves.
We like to throw him in the kitten mittens.
Yeah, man.
So he's got these little shields because we cut his fingernails successfully.
I know a lot of parents be scared of that. Just bite them, man. You can just bite them.
Oh
off.
man, I just use a cuticle cutter, man, because it's got more control, and instead of just being straight on, it just goes from the side over. It's easier to go from that way. But like we got it good, and then but it still had like a little bit of edge. I didn't file them. Apparently, you need to file them shits because he was like, and I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like easy there, Wolverine.
And you got to clip your nails. Like mine are long right now, but I got a baby at the house, but I ain't dealing with a baby. Yeah,
you don't want poop under your nails.
One day, this was with my oldest daughter. One day we was at Walmart, and she was probably like, I don't know, maybe 2 at the time. Okay. But I took her in the bathroom to wipe her nose because she was all snotty in Walmart. Oh man, I went to wipe her nose, and my thumbnails too long at the time. I like to keep my thumbnails.
Just sliced her.
Oh man, like I don't know what happened, but it cut her, and then I brought her out of there. Her nose was bleeding. I was like, God, I'm sorry. Because I was like, she had a cruster in there, like she had them packed up, and then she had a big crust. I'm trying to get her. With a parent, you just reach in that nose. It don't even matter.
Your level of the threshold for things that are gross gets totally broken.
It don't even matter.
Yesterday, I was sitting on the couch, and I had previously cleaned a diaper that was an abomination. And I look at my arm. I'd washed my hands, obviously, and all that stuff. But then I looked at my arm, and I was like, a little bit up on my forearm, like midway. I was like, what the fuck is that? I like scratch a little bit, smell it. I was like, got shit on my arm. Yeah. And I was just like, all right.
I guess I got to wash my arm.
Guess I got pooped on. And I was just like, and like, there's no like urgency. You're just kind of like, yep, been shit on.
Yep, spit ups, don't even matter. You just like
you have all girls, so you haven't had to experience the
pee streams,
dude. You get peed on a lot.
My wife got shit on, like, cause if they got them sharts and they ain't controlling them as babies. Oh boy,
we're not there yet. Thank God
we didn't have that happen.
Haven't had that.
That's happened.
I have had to deal with the pee. The pee is like a very interesting and yet funny situation because it's silent. You don't realize it's coming. Yeah. But it probably is. And it always happens when there's a mixed diaper of both the number 1 and the number 2. Yeah. So you're addressing the number 2. And that's their prime time to just be like, I think now's a good time to just let it rip. Yeah. And it either gets all over you or it's perfectly directed towards their own head. Yeah,
I guess it depends on the wiping situation. Because if you got the legs up, getting ready, if they just chilling and you getting stuff ready, then it's getting peed on you. If you're getting them up there to wipe, then they
nah, man. If he has his legs down, he'll pee on his own head.
Oh yeah, you just
it's hilarious. That's exactly what'll happen. And then I'll just be like, oh no, and you have to act really quick. Like you're just like, oh God. Now thank God like this stuff is like sterile and stuff. But like, my God. I was like, that's hilarious. But yeah, you gotta be quick with it. So now I've got this patented approach where I put the diaper under him and then like it's like a quick like swap, wipe, redo. Like man, you gotta have the shield, otherwise it's danger. Yeah, he's got some trajectory too, man. He
pressure.
He gets some distance. Yeah, man. The other day he did it to Lauren like 3 or 4 times and one changing. I was like, damn.
He's still going.
Dude, he's nuts. He's great, though. He's good. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much all I've got since everything's gone down. I've just not been sleeping. I've been helping raise a kid. Lauren is doing the bulk of the baby stuff because she is just amazing. And my job is to basically keep everyone fed and clean and like. So I'm like cleaning the house all the time, going to work, like laundry, food, like trying to do as much to support as I can. Yeah. Because man, I'll hold him sometimes, and he's just like, nah. He's like, I want mom. Yeah. Like he knows.
Get up off me.
He's like, ugh.
This arm is hairy.
He's like, you're great, but like only when I'm already content. I need mom right now. It's like, all right, fine, I get it, I understand. It's like you've been in there for a while. Yeah. You know what's going on.
Yeah, this is what I'm used to.
Yeah. He's just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, who's this dude?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, so that's a wrap. But we should be back on a pretty regular basis at this point going forward.
Back at it.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We are now at the roastery because we had to move out of the house just because, you can't really schedule anything around a baby. They are on their schedule. Yeah. And he might
We don't want to go in there. The dogs get the barking, wake that little dude up. Can't happen, man.
Oh, yeah. He's doing great, man. But, yeah, so we'll be at the roaster for a little bit, which is great because we have a lot of new coffee topics to discuss going forward and just overall other cool food things. So stay tuned.
Perfect space for it.
It's great to be back. And, until next time, I think we out of here. All right, man. Peace.
Peace.